Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard the word tariff a lot in the last year or so. Donald Trump has even called it the most beautiful word in the dictionary. There are a billion videos discussing tariffs and what they are and whether they're good or not. But let's put those scary thoughts to the side for a second, because this word has a very long and cool and kind of swashbuckling history, and I want to talk about it. So, there are two theories about how the word tariff developed, and they both originate with the Arabic language. The first theory relates to a tiny area in the very southernmost part of Spain called Tarifa. In July of 710, military leader Tariff ibn Malik was sent on a raid mission from the northern tip of Africa to the south coast of Spain. He set out with 500 soldiers and 4 ships. When his small army landed on the other side of the water, they took over, and the port town was named Tarifa after the name of the mission's commander. At this time, when there were lots of merchant ships and lots of trade happening between Europe, the Middle East, and northern Africa, this area of the ocean, the Mediterranean area, was used a lot by merchants, and there was a lot of trade happening. They had to mix languages in order to use things. We'll come back to that a little bit later in theory number 2. So any trade ships passing through that area would be stopped, and they'd have to pay some money in order to continue through or in order to bring their goods onto the mainland. This became known as a tariff, in this case, because of the name of that location. This is theory number 1. Theory number 2 goes back a little bit further and relates to that language point that I talked about a moment ago. We need to look at a few key Arabic words, the first of which is tariff, which is thought to have become tarifa through Persian. Tariff means simply price list, is one of the things that it can mean. The root of tariff is the verb arafa, which means to be known or to know something or to recognize something. So tariff was used just to mean a price list, but the price list was made in order for people to know about it. So because this word was being used in Arabic-speaking countries at a time where lots of trade was happening and lots of different people from different countries and cultures were passing through and doing deals with each other, tarifa came to mean not just the price list, but also the price list plus any import taxes that needed to be applied to that thing. And having a tarifa was essential because different ports had different rates to apply depending on local or regional government rules. So each portmaster had to have their own list of prices. So while tariff began its life in Arabic, it traveled through the Ottomans and Persians, and it continued on into Spanish and Italian, and then eventually French. One of the theories that's debunked at this point in time is that tariff in English came from tariff in French, because there is a word tariff that's used in French, but this just means a fee or a bill for something. It's actually much closer in meaning to the original Arabic word. When we use the word tariff in English, we're using it to talk about an import tax. And this has been the case since about the 17th century. In French, the word is used for something like your electrical bill. When you consider that these are the two possible origins for the word tariff, it's really interesting to see how the word actually emerged from a flourishing trade between multiple cultures and multiple countries and multiple different languages. But today, it's often being applied as a way to kind of protect yourself from outside influences. So let me know which theory you think it is in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.